"Oh my gosh, she's finally losing it." That's what my sister whispered, except she wasn't whispering to anyone sitting in that room. She was whispering straight into her phone camera, to 3 million people she'd never met in her life. That Easter Sunday, I broke down crying right there at the dinner table in front of my whole family. And within 3 days, my tears were all over the internet, gift-wrapped with a title. My mom left a comment underneath. My dad hit the like button. My sister sat there watching the view count go up like she'd just won something. I didn't say one single word for 8 whole months. But then I finally opened my mouth, just one video sitting right here at my own kitchen table, and my entire family blew up my phone within the hour begging me to take it down. By that point, though, the whole town had already seen it. Some of them twice. Now here's the thing. I didn't go quiet because I was angry. I went quiet because I decided to start really paying attention. And what I figured out over those 8 months didn't just shake me up. Blew the lid off secrets that 3 people in my family had been hiding for years. Before I keep going, if you've ever felt invisible at your own family's table or watched someone turn your pain into their content, this story is going to hit you in a place you didn't expect. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss what I share next, because this is only the beginning. Drop your city and your local time in the comments too. I genuinely love knowing who's out there listening to this. My name is Claire. I'm 31 years old. I'm a real estate agent based out of Clover Falls, Tennessee, and I'm a single mom to a 7-year-old wild card named Mason. And this right here is the story of the Easter dinner that cracked everything wide open, and the 8 months it took me to figure out what to do with what I found. Okay, let me take you all the way back to Easter weekend. The night my sister looked at my pain and saw a content opportunity. Callaway House smells like glazed ham and fresh Easter lilies every single April. That part hasn't changed since I was a little kid running around in those stiff church shoes. What did change is exactly where I end up sitting at that table. I pull up to the house right around 5:30. Mason is knocked out in his car seat, Easter basket still tight in his little hands, cheeks squished against the window. I've got a big dish of scalloped potatoes balanced on the passenger seat. I made it from scratch, peeled every single potato myself, layered it up with cheese and herbs just like my grandma used to make it. I managed to carry Mason on one hip and the dish in my other hand and basically kick the front door open by myself. My mom, Sandra, is over at the counter fussing with deviled eggs. She looks over at what I brought. "Oh, you made that same thing again." She takes the dish right out of my hands and slides it all the way to the far corner of the counter behind the Easter bread, right up against the wall where nobody's gonna reach for it. I have brought food to every single family holiday for going on 5 years. Not one time has it ever made it to the middle of the table. About 35 minutes later, my sister Nicole rolls in. No dish. Just a bottle of wine and fresh highlights. My mom basically sprints across the kitchen with her arms already wide open. There she is. "Look at you, you are absolutely gorgeous." She wraps Nicole up in this long hug, long enough that I have time to set Mason down, hang up both our coats and straighten out my blouse. All by myself. My dad, Robert, is parked in his recliner in the living room. Game on TV. Phone in his hand. He nods at me without even looking up. Mason runs over to my mom. "Grammy!" Mom gives him this quick, tight little smile and then spins around. "Nicole, get over here. I want a photo of us 3. She means herself, Nicole, and Dad. Mason and I? Not in the picture. We never are. I go take my seat. The chair by the kitchen door, the one with the wobbly leg. I've been sitting in that same chair for as long as I can remember. While I'm fixing Mason's napkin, I notice Nicole's phone propped up on the little ledge above the sideboard. Camera pointing right at the table. Red light on. I figured it was just an Instagram story thing. Show off the holiday spread, get some engagement. Didn't think twice about it. I really should have. We're halfway through the ham when Sandra sets her fork down and decides to take a shot. "So, Claire, Anything new going on? You seeing anybody? I keep my eyes right on Mason's plate and keep cutting his food up. I'm just focused on work and Mason right now, Mom. She does this little exhale through her nose like I just told her something disappointing. I just want you to be settled like Nicole. Is that really so much to ask? Nicole doesn't even blink. She picks up her wine glass and kind of tilts it toward the table. Mom, not everybody gets it together on the same schedule. Some people just take a little longer. Pause. Little smile she shares only with Mom. Or a whole lot longer. Quiet laughter between the two of them. Kind that's got an edge to it. Dad clears his throat. First time he's said anything to me all night. Your mom's just coming from a place of love. Don't go making this into some big dramatic thing, Claire. Sounds real chill. It's not. Every single time he says, don't make it a thing, what he actually means is stop making us feel bad about what we're doing to you. I keep cutting Mason's food. My hands are steady. I can do this. I've done it every year at every holiday. I can get through one more dinner. But then Sandra leans back in her chair like she's just making casual conversation. You hear your cousin Deanna just made partner at her law firm? Her and her husband are building a brand new house out in Fairview. Little pause. A little sigh. I'm just saying, Claire. It's not too late to get yourself together, you know? And something inside me just folded. I don't yell. I don't clap back. I don't say a single word. I just stop. Table goes blurry. My throat closes up. And tears start rolling down my face before I even realize what's happening. Mason's little hand lands on my arm. Mama. I pick him up, manage to say excuse me, and walk out to the back porch. The April air is cool on my face. I stand out there holding my son, my face in his hair, just trying to breathe. Through the glass door I can hear Sandra's voice, all settled and satisfied. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Every single holiday. That red light on Nicole's phone is still blinking. 3 days after Easter, Mason is at the table eating cereal and humming some song from his show, feet swinging like he doesn't have a care in the world. My phone rings. It's my best friend, Jess. Claire. Girl. Have you seen Nicole's page? I hadn't. I open it with one hand and stir Mason's orange juice with the other. The video has my face as the thumbnail. Mid-cry. Mascara everywhere. Mouth half open. Nicole had put herself at the top, sitting in this soft lighting, talking in this low, gentle voice. My little sister has always had a hard time. Our family tries so hard for her. This Easter, she finally hit her breaking point. It was honestly really hard to watch. Then 54 seconds of me at that table. Sobbing. Mason's hand on my arm. Me stumbling out to the porch. Caption. The family disappointment finally cracks pensive face. 3 million views. 18,000 comments. I scroll through them. Strangers feeling sorry for me, dragging me, armchair diagnosing me from behind a phone screen. Sis needs a therapist, not a ham dinner. Total middle child energy, lol. Somebody get this woman some hobbies. And then I see it. My mom's comment. Her real full name. Her church directory photo, big smile, silk blouse, potted plant in the background. Maybe now she'll finally want to change. That's all a mama can hope for. 4,000 likes on that comment. My dad's contribution, 1 thumbs up on the video itself. That's it. Silent and clean as a signature. My hand squeezes around that phone until the case pops. Mason looks up. Mama, why are you squeezing your phone like that? I set it face down on the counter. Part of me wants to blow up Nicole's phone, report everything, go full scorched earth. But I don't. I pour Mason his juice. I wipe down the counter. I say, we're hitting the park today, bud. That night after Mason's asleep, I pick the phone back up. I don't call anyone. I screenshot every single thing. And right here, I want to pause and ask you something. If you are watching this and you've ever had someone use your lowest moment against you, please hit that subscribe button. Because everything I'm about to share next, the secrets I found, what I did with them, and what happened after, it's the part most people never have the guts to talk about out loud. You don't want to miss it. Hit subscribe so it comes straight to you. Monday morning. I walk into the Clover Falls office of Hartfield Realty the same way I have for 4 years. Blazer on. Keys in hand. Coffee already in my system. I know every person in that building by name and birthday. But the moment I step through that door, the vibe in the room is off. 2 coworkers look up from their desks when I walk past. One goes back to her computer real fast. The other gives me this smile that lives somewhere between "I feel so bad for you" and "please don't make this weird." I get to my desk. Behind me somebody's whispering. I only catch one word. Video. Around 11, a client in the waiting area leans over to the receptionist, not quiet enough at all, and says, "Wait, is that the woman from that Easter crying video?" I pull up my listings. I answer my emails. I do my job. At noon, my office manager, Diane Mercer, comes and finds me. She's been running this branch for over 20 years. The kind of woman who remembers every client's name, sends handwritten birthday cards, and calls you out with kindness when you need it. She pulls me into her office and shuts the door behind her. Then she slides 3 printed emails across the desk. "The main office got these," she says. "People saying they're worried about whether you're in the right headspace to be working with clients. I think it's a load of nonsense, Claire. But I've got to put it on record. Policy." I read through them. Vague and slippery, every single one. Words like well-being and professional standards and emotional stability. None of them mention the video by name. They don't need to. That evening, I sit in my car in the parking garage. Engine off. Both hands on the wheel. I call Jess. "They're coming after my job now." She's quiet for a beat. Then, "No. They're coming after your voice." I look at the photo of Mason I've got tucked into the corner of my sun visor. That big gap-toothed grin. Marker on his chin. Eyes wide open like the whole world is just waiting on him. I open my notes app. I start typing. I am not losing my career because my family decided my pain was content. First week of May. I sit at my kitchen table after Mason's bedtime and run the numbers. If I lose my spot at Hartfield Realty, the closest comparable agency is Sutton and Crossover in Greendale, nearly 50 minutes north of Clover Falls. The extra gas alone would run me about $250 a month. Mason's after-school sitter, Mrs. Patterson, lives 4 blocks from our apartment and charges me a rate I can actually make work. His best buddy at school is a kid named Tyler who saves him the window seat every single day on the bus and trades him Oreos for goldfish at lunch. You can't just replace something like that. I can't pick up and move. I can't afford a lawyer. I can't make this go away by force. The grocery store that Saturday, a woman named Paulette from my mom's church group comes rolling up to my cart. Big warm smile. Hand on my arm. "Claire, honey, I saw everything. Your mama just worries about you is all. Give her a call, okay?" "Thank you, Paulette." I keep pushing my cart. I figured out by now that trying to explain yourself to people who already picked a side is just a longer way of begging. The Tuesday after that, Mason's school calls. Front desk lady. Careful and professional. "Miss Calloway, we received an anonymous email from a community member with some concerns about Mason's home situation. We're required to document it." I'm standing in the Hartfield Realty parking lot when I take that call. Sun is out. Birds going absolutely wild in the trees across the street. Somebody emailed my son's school about me. I already know every word in that email without even having to read it. Concern. Stability. Safe environment. I have been hearing that exact language my whole life. Delivered in my mother's voice. tied up in my mother's smile. I sit in my car for about 12 minutes after I hang up, not going anywhere, just sitting with it. That's when I understood something I hadn't let myself say out loud yet. This stopped being about getting me back to Sunday dinners a long time ago. This was about Mason now. About who gets to write the story of my son's life. And it clicked, clear as anything. This was never about love. It was always about control. And I was the one thing in their world they could no longer keep a grip on. 8 months. That's what I needed. Not to let it go. Not to forgive and forget. Just to watch. To really pay attention. 2 months into my silence, something real interesting starts happening to Nicole's channel. Jess keeps tabs on it, not like obsessively, just the way you keep one eye on a storm that already cleared your neighborhood but might circle back around. She sends me a screenshot on a Wednesday evening. Nicole's engagement is down 43% since Easter. Her latest video, Spring Wardrobe Finds Under $50, has 87 views. 87. Girl used to pull real money off my pain alone. Without the drama, without me, Nicole's content is basically elevator music. Forgettable. Nobody stops scrolling for it. So she starts reaching. She posts a throwback photo of the two of us at a county fair when we were little kids. Cotton candy stains, sunburned noses, arms around each other. Caption: some people pick distance over family. Me? I pick love. Every single time. 240 comments in about an hour. People asking what happened. Did your sister ever respond? Is she okay? She's fishing. I'm the bait she can't get to anymore. Then the DM lands. Timestamped 11:52 at night. People keep asking about you. Can't we just talk? I'll take the video down if you come to Mom's birthday dinner. I read it in bed. Mason's nightlight glows soft yellow through the crack in his door. I don't reply. Next morning I check the original video. The family disappointment finally cracks. Till up. Till making money. She didn't take it down. She dangled it like a deal she was willing to make, but only if I paid up first. There's a big difference between actually being sorry and just trying to get something back. I know that difference now. 4 months in. My mother has not been quiet. Not even a little bit. Jess hears it first, from a woman named Rachel who still goes to Calvary Baptist, which is our family's church. Sandra has been working the women's ministry circle over there. Not with the truth. With her version of it. My younger daughter just cut us all off, she tells them, tissue already out and ready. We don't know what we ever did wrong. We give that girl everything and she just walked away. We pray for her every single night. I don't know what else a mother can do. Not one word about the video. Not one word about the comment she left for 3 million people to read. She built herself into the heartbroken, abandoned mama and flipped me into the cold, ungrateful daughter who walked away from a perfectly good family. And it worked like a charm. Cards start showing up in my mailbox. Handwritten notes. Soft pastel envelopes. Your mama loves you so much, Claire. Don't throw away what you've got. One woman mailed me an actual book with a sticky note on the front that said healing starts with coming home. I stack them on the counter. Top opening them after the first week. Jess calls me one night, clearly frustrated. She's got the whole congregation running her errands for her. Let her, I say. I'm stirring Mason's mac and cheese on the stove. I'm not ready yet. Jess goes quiet. Yet. I go quiet too. That was the first time I'd used that word instead of no. I didn't fully understand what had shifted in me. But something had. Every card, every head tilt at the drugstore, every conversation that stops dead the second I walk into a room, all of it just kept confirming what I'd already started to feel. They didn't just want me quiet. They wanted me gone. Written out of the story and replaced by the character they'd made up, The lost one, the troubled one, the one everybody lights a candle for. I'm not that character. And I was starting to think it was way past time I made that real clear. Month 5. Nicole crosses a line I didn't even know was there until her foot was already over it. I'm cutting Mason's hair before his bath when Jess's name pops up on my phone. No hey. No hello. Just a link. I open it. Nicole's feed. A photo of Mason. My kid. Laughing in the orange dinosaur shirt I grabbed off the clearance rack last summer. Pulled straight from the shared family photo album I'd completely forgotten to cut Nicole off from after Easter. Caption. At least one amazing thing came from my little sister. Miss you so much, Bud Yellowheart. 700 comments. So adorable. What a little cutie. Ugh, you're the best auntie, Nicole. 700 strangers looking at my son's face. Commenting on it. Sharing it around. All because Nicole needed content and my kid was right there and available. I walk into Mason's room. He's sitting on the edge of the tub waiting on me, rubber duck already in hand. He looks up. Mama, how come Aunt Nicole's phone is always pointed at us? I take a breath. It won't be any more, Bud. I promise you that. I call Jess. My hands are shaking, but my voice is flat and steady. She used Mason. Jess doesn't miss a beat. What do you want to do? Everything. That night after Mason's breathing goes slow and even on the monitor, I sit down at my kitchen table with my laptop. I start writing out everything I know. Everything I spent 31 years pretending I didn't notice. The truck mileage that never added up. Court case that just vanished. Credit card statement stuffed inside a box of little kids' clothes. 3 secrets. 3 people. 3 lies that only stayed standing because I kept my mouth shut. You can come for me. You can put my crying face on a thumbnail. But you do not get to use my son. I want to stop right here for just a second. Because when I saw Mason's photo on that page, the first thing I felt wasn't hot, burning angry. It was cold, like ice water dropping straight through my chest. Because I realized, if Nicole was willing to post a 7-year-old for likes, there was absolutely nothing she would stop at. So let me ask you something before I keep going. Why do you think Nicole went after Mason instead of continuing to come after me directly? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm seriously curious what you all think. And listen, if you are not subscribed yet, do it right now. 'Cause what I found next, 3 secrets hidden by 3 different people in my own family, is the part that changed absolutely everything. Part that made my hands shake when I put it all together. Promise you need to see where this goes. Subscribe and stay with me. Mid-May. I drive over to my parents' house on a Thursday afternoon, not to patch anything up, to grab a box of Mason's old clothes that Sandra offered up back when she still thought she could soften me up with hand-me-downs. Sandra's at her Thursday Bible study. Dad's truck is in the driveway, but Mom said he'd be out fishing. Front door's unlocked. That's just how it is in Clover Falls. I grab the box from the hall closet and head back out. On my way to my car, I walk past my dad's truck. And out of pure muscle memory, the same habit I've had since he taught me to drive in the church parking lot when I was 16, I glance at the odometer. I stop dead. I set the box on the hood. Look again. Pull his service log out of the glove box. He's always been super organized about keeping records, and I do the math right there in the driveway in the middle of that Thursday afternoon. 311 miles. One single weekend. Lake Harrow, where my dad claims he fishes every other Saturday, is 14 miles from this driveway. 28 miles round trip. 311 miles means roughly 155 each way. That's about 2.5 hours of driving. One direction. I take a photo of the odometer. I take a photo of the service log. I don't know the full picture yet, but I know one thing for certain. A retired man does not put 300 miles on his truck to visit a lake that's 14 minutes down the road. I drive home with the box of little clothes on the passenger seat and a number sitting in my camera roll that doesn't match a single fishing trip I've ever heard about. Once you start actually paying attention, you cannot unsee what's been right in front of you the whole time. Late May. Jess and I are at her kitchen table, laptop between us. We're looking into how to report the unauthorized posting of a minor's image online because of what Nicole did with Mason. When Jess types Nicole's name into the county court records search just to check for any useful legal history, what comes back stops us both cold. Cole Marie Calloway. DUI arrest. About 18 months ago. 1:38 in the morning. Blood alcohol 0.16, that's double the legal limit. Case status, dismissed. Reason listed, insufficient evidence. Jess looks at me sideways. 16 and they called it insufficient evidence? That is not how DUI law works in this state, Claire. A memory surfaces, fuzzy when it happened, sharp now. About a year and a half back, my dad was on his phone more than I'd ever heard him in my entire life. Hushed conversations out on the back porch. One Sunday dinner where the tension was so thick nobody even finished eating. Then everything went right back to normal like nothing had happened. I never asked why. I never asked about anything back then. Jess pulls up the county sheriff's page. Gerald Haynes. Cross-references him with Robert Calloway. Same high school class. Same church. Same Tuesday night bowling league going back 22 years. Your dad's best friend is the county sheriff, Jess says, real slow. And your sister's DUI just up and disappeared. I stare at the screen. This isn't just Nicole being messy online, Jess says. This is everybody protecting everybody. All of them. All the time. I close the laptop real gently. Truth doesn't fall apart when you finally look at it straight on. It just sits there, quiet and patient, waiting for you to stop looking away. Early June. I'm going through the box of Mason's old clothes, the one from my parents' house, when something falls out from the folds of a tiny pair of corduroy overalls. A folded-up piece of paper. Pressed completely flat. Like somebody shoved it there in a hurry and never went back for it. Sandra R. Calloway. Credit card statement. Account ending 7823. Balance $53,400. I sit right down on Mason's bedroom floor, surrounded by little shirts and balled-up socks, and read every single line. Department stores. Home decorating subscriptions. A recurring $300 monthly donation to Calvary Baptist. A $6,500 cash advance. Interest stacking up row after row after row. My parents live off Dad's county pension. About $3,400 a month. This balance is 16 months of their entire income. And Robert has no idea. He can't. Because if he knew, the silence between them would feel completely different. I grew up in that house. I know exactly what their quiet sounds like when something is being hidden underneath it. I carry the statement to my kitchen table. Set it right next to the odometer photos. Right next to the DUI printout. 3 folders. 3 people. 3 secrets. I called Jess. I need your help. Not to blow anything up. Just to finally tell the truth. She's quiet for 3 full seconds. Then, okay. But first let me check one more thing. The week before I record my video, Calvary Baptist holds their annual spring community dinner. About 180 people, folding chairs set out on the lawn, the whole place smelling like slow-cooked barbecue and honeysuckle. Jess goes because her friend Rachel saved her a seat. Jess starts texting me live updates. 7:02, your mom just took the mic. 7:04, she's crying. 7:05, she just asked the whole room to pray for you. Said your name out loud in front of everyone. I called Jess. She picks up in a whisper, hand cupped over the phone. In the background, I can hear my mother's voice coming through a microphone, all blown up and trembling. I want to ask everyone here tonight to please lift up my youngest daughter in prayer. She has turned away from her whole family. We don't know why. We don't even know if she's doing okay. All we can do is trust God to bring her back home. 180 people bow their heads. My name hanging out there in the warm night air like smoke. Jess sends one last screenshot, Nicole's live stream of the whole prayer moment. Nicole is standing right beside Sandra, one hand on her shoulder, eyes glistening. Looks like something out of a movie. But down in the bottom corner of the frame, Jess caught it. Nicole's other hand down at her side. Checking her live viewer count. Crying and counting at the exact same time. I sit at my kitchen table listening to 180 people pray for a version of me that flat out does not exist. I hang up. I open my laptop. And I start making a plan. Early June. I have Jess come over after Mason's bedtime. She sits across from me at the kitchen table. 4 folders between us. Dad_Miles. Sandra_Det. Church_dinner. I'm making one video, I say. Just one. And I'm gonna say all of it. Jess wraps both hands around her mug. You really sure about this? This isn't just drama on the internet. This is your whole family. They stop being my safety net the second they turn my worst moment into content and my son into a prop. She looks at my face for a long moment. Then she nods. We map it out together. The video has to be under 15 minutes. Calm. All facts. No blowing up, no crying on camera, nothing I can't back up with solid proof. I'll show the public DUI court record. The odometer photos. Facebook page anyone in the world can find in 30 seconds. I'll talk about the credit card statement without putting the actual account numbers on screen. What about the prayer thing? Jess asks. I've got your screenshots. The viewer count check. That's going in. And if they come after you legally, everything I'm saying is either public record or my own lived experience. I'm not guessing. I'm not speaking for anyone else. I'm just telling my story. She opens her laptop. I'll clean up the audio. Good. I don't need it to look fancy. I just need it to be clear. She looks at me. When are you doing this? After Mother's Day. Let them have one more nice Sunday thinking I gave up on this. I shut the laptop. Through Mason's door I can just barely hear his sound machine going. Ocean setting. The one he picked out himself at Target and absolutely would not leave without. 8 months from Easter. Long enough for them to believe I was done. Long enough for me to know I hadn't even started. Last week of June. Mason is having a sleepover at Jess's place, movie night, popcorn, the works. I get in the shower. I put on a plain light blue shirt. Nothing extra. No big jewelry. I want to look exactly like what I am. A working mom. A regular person sitting down to tell the truth at her own kitchen table. Jess set up the laptop camera before she took Mason over. Clean wall behind me. The edge of one of Mason's crayon drawings just barely visible on the fridge. A house with a big yellow door and purple trees. Nothing staged. Nothing dressed up. I sit down. Open my notes. Take one slow breath. Hit record. 14 minutes and 20 seconds. One single take. I watch it back right there at the table. My voice doesn't shake once. My eyes stay dry. I lay out the facts. I show the documents. I don't accuse anybody of anything. I let the evidence do all that talking for itself. I don't ask for anybody's sympathy. I don't ask for justice. I just stop pretending. Jess calls at 10. How'd it go? Done. Did you cry? I look at my own reflection in the dark laptop screen. Nope. I'm all done crying for them. Monday morning. First week of July. 8 months to the day since Easter. I drop Mason off at school. Bend down and kiss the top of his head at the door. Have a good one, bud. He grabs his dinosaur backpack and takes off at a full run without looking back, which is exactly how I want him to move through this world. Head forward. No looking over his shoulder. I walk back to my car. I sit there for a second. I open my phone. The video has been sitting there uploaded and set to private. Title: My name is Claire Calloway. 8 months ago my family filmed me at my worst moment and called it entertainment. This is my response. My thumb just hovers there over publish. The school parking lot is quiet. A bus pulls away. A red cardinal lands right on the curb in front of me. I press it. First 30 minutes? Basically nothing. About 60 views, Jess, a couple coworkers, a few people I actually know in real life. I drive to the office. Sit down at my desk. Start my day. By 10 in the morning, somebody drops it into the Clover Falls County Community Facebook group. 400 views. Somebody else shares it over in the Calvary Baptist members page. 1,500 views. By lunch it's sitting at 5,000. 3 o'clock, 19,000. By the time I pack up my desk and head home at 6, it's at 61,000. I don't look at my phone one single time all day. I return phone calls. I follow up on listings. I do my job. Around 5:45, Diane catches me at the coffee machine. She doesn't say a word about the video. She just puts one hand on my shoulder and says, "You've got my reference letter the moment you ever want it." No questions, no conditions. I can't talk for a second. At 9 that night I get home. Mason's out cold in his bed. I pick up my phone. 11 missed calls. 3 different numbers. Sandra. Robert. Nicole. I set the phone face down on the nightstand. Truth is out. Now it gets to do what truth does. Here's what I actually said in that video, because y'all deserve to hear it the same way they did. I sat at my kitchen table, looked straight into that camera, and kept it simple. My name is Claire Calloway. I live in Clover Falls, Tennessee. I'm a real estate agent and a single mom. On Easter Sunday, my sister propped her phone up on the ledge above the sideboard before any of us even sat down to eat. This was not some spur-of-the-moment thing. This was planned content. I showed the original video. The thumbnail. Caption. My mom's comment. My dad's thumbs up. Then Nicole. My sister got arrested for drunk driving about 18 months ago. Her blood alcohol was .16. That's double the legal limit. Case got dropped. The officer who made that arrest works under Sheriff Gerald Haynes, my dad's best friend and bowling buddy for over 20 years. Public record. Case number right here on screen. I held the printout up. Set it down. My dad leaves every other weekend saying he's going fishing at Lake Harrow. That lake is 14 miles from the house. His truck puts on 300 miles. I've got odometer photos from 3 separate weekends in a row. I showed the photos. I found out where he actually goes. This is a public Facebook profile. A photo of my dad on a porch swing. A woman sitting beside him. A little boy, maybe 6 years old, with my dad's exact same jaw and eyes. Caption underneath. My boy's sunrise over mountains Sunday morning. I'm not putting names on anyone who didn't choose to put themselves out there publicly. But this woman has been posting photos of my dad with her son every other Sunday for years. Then Sandra. My mother commented on the viral video of me crying and told 3 million people I needed to change. My mother had the entire congregation at Calvary Baptist pray for me by name and called me lost. And my mother carries $53,000 in credit card debt that my father does not know exists. I found the statement by accident, folded up inside a box of my son's old clothes. I stopped. Looked straight into the camera. I am not asking anyone to go after my family. I am just asking them to stop going after me. And then at the very end, quiet as I could. Nicole, take Mason's photo down. That's not me asking nicely. I did not raise my voice one single time. I want to be real with you about something. The second I hit publish, I didn't feel relief. I felt sick. 'Cause I knew, all the way down in my bones, that there was no walking any of this back. Some bridges don't just burn. They light up the whole road behind you so you can finally see where you've been walking all this time. So let me ask you straight up, if this was your life, would you have posted that video? Or would you have done things completely different? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know. And if you are not subscribed yet, please do it right now. The next 48 hours of this story are the part one still lose sleep over. What my family did when they saw that video go live. What happened to each of them? What nobody saw coming. Hit subscribe. You will not want to come back and find out you missed it. 24 hours after I post it, the video crosses 220,000 views. It's been shared in 6 different Clover Falls County Facebook groups. Comment section has basically split the whole town right down the middle. Half defending my family, the other half saying stuff they've apparently been sitting on for years. I always felt like something was off in that house. That prayer thing at the spring dinner felt totally put on to me. Cole moves first. She posts a story at 7:30 in the morning. My sister is lying. This is defamation. Deletes it 20 minutes later. Posts again, no comment at this time. Deletes that too. Her whole page goes dark. Sandra calls me 9 times before noon. The last voicemail hits at 12:43. I've heard a lot of voicemails from that woman over the years, but this one is different. No church lady tone. No careful composure. Just straight up raw fear. You had absolutely no right. That is my personal business. You take that down right now, Claire. 3 sentences. No, I love you. No, let's sit down and talk this through. Just the sound of a woman who has completely lost her grip on the story she spent her whole adult life building. Robert sends 1 text. 2 words, Claire, please. No pushback. No explanation. Just this flat, worn-out thing from a man who spent 60 years dodging every hard conversation that ever came anywhere near him. 48 hours. That's all it takes for a family's entire public image to just come apart at the seams. Cole gets the call on Tuesday morning. Hartfield Realty, same company I work for, believe it or not, she picked up part-time work there about a year back. Lets her go. Official line, conduct not in line with company values. But the real reason gets back to Jess through 2 different people by lunchtime. When the DUI record went public, one of the firm's biggest commercial clients, a developer with close ties to Sheriff Haynes's office, called the managing partner directly. Fix it or lose the deal. Cole was the fix. The exact same connection that made her DUI disappear is what got her fired. The thing that protected her became the thing that took her down. I want to be clear, I didn't engineer that. I just told the truth and let it land where it was always going to land. By Wednesday, Nicole quietly takes down the Easter video. 3 million views gone, except it's already been saved and reposted to 4 other accounts and screenshot into every group chat in the county. She takes Mason's photo down too. No statement. No apology. Just a silent delete, the way you sweep your kitchen floor about 30 seconds before company shows up. Her channel bleeds out 8,000 followers in 4 days. Every post she still has up gets flooded with her own caption screenshot right back at her. The family disappointment finally cracks. She puts up one last video. Calls it My Truth. Sitting in her car. Mascara everywhere. Voice cracking. She posts it at midnight. By morning, the whole comment section is nothing but screenshots. She pulls it down within 3 hours. I'm on the living room floor building a Lego city with Mason when Jess texts me about that last video. I look down at my hands. Completely still. No shaking. No muscles tight, bracing for the next hit. For the first time in 8 months, my whole body just let go. Mama, this part goes right here, it's the fire station. Mason says, snapping a red block into place like he's been doing this his whole life. It's perfect, I tell him. And I mean way more than the Lego. Sunday. 5 days after I posted. Sandra walks into Calvary Baptist the way she has for 30 years. Nice dress pressed. Bible tucked under her arm. Smile in place. But nobody comes to meet her at the door. The ladies who always held her a spot in the third pew are already seated, eyes straight ahead. Pastor Thomas Ingram steps up to the pulpit before the first song even starts. Voice steady. Eyes moving slow across every person in that room. This church stands on truth and accountability. We are not a stage for anyone's performance. If you have not been honest with this community, the path forward is not about managing how you look. It's about real repentance. He does not say her name. He does not have to. Sandra takes a seat in the fourth row. Both chairs on either side of her stay empty the whole service. Paulette, the same woman who pulled me aside at the grocery store and told me to go call my mama, stares straight forward. Jaw tight. Hands in her lap. Not one word to Sandra. Not one. After the last prayer, Sandra walks out to her car alone. Nobody stops her. Nobody says goodbye. She pulls into her driveway to find Robert sitting at the kitchen table. His laptop is open. On the screen, a public Facebook page. A porch swing. A woman. A little boy. My boy's sunrise over mountains Sunday morning. Robert looks up at her. He looks 10 years older than he did at Easter. Sandra, just let me explain. I'm not there when it goes down. But the next-door neighbor, a woman who has lived right beside my parents since before I was born, tells Jess the argument went until almost 2 in the morning. The first time in Sandra Calloway's entire adult life that she could not spin her way out of something. Day 6. 3 phone calls. 3 completely different flavors of desperate. Cold calls first. The real crying, not the kind she turns on for a camera. Kind that sounds like a person who's completely run out of performance. Claire, I lost my job. I can't make rent. If you just take it down, I'll do anything. I'll apologize publicly, whatever you need. I let her finish. Then I say, you filmed me at my absolute lowest and packaged it up as entertainment. I told the truth as calm as I've ever been. The difference between us is that what I said was actually true. Silence. Then the call ends. Sandra calls around 4 in the afternoon. No tears this time. When there's no crowd watching, there's no performance to give. You have destroyed this family. Are you happy? I'm slicing an apple at the kitchen counter. That knife doesn't shake one bit. You destroyed this family, Mom. I just stopped helping you cover it up. She hangs up. I finish slicing the apple. Grab the peanut butter. Call Mason to the table. Robert calls last. 9:30 at night. Mason's been asleep for over an hour. His voice sounds like something that's been wrung out and left to dry. Claire, I know I did wrong. But Marlene and the boy, they didn't choose any part of this. I close my eyes for just a second. You're right, Dad. They didn't. A long pause. He's waiting for me to give him something to hold on to. And neither did I. I end the call. I stand at the kitchen window. Fireflies blinking slow across the backyard. Mason's little soccer goal sitting quiet in the dark. I find out later from Jess that Marlene, the woman in those Facebook photos, had already watched my video before Robert even got a chance to reach her. She had no idea Sandra existed. For 8 years, Robert had her believing he was a widower, that his daughters had drifted, that he was just a quiet man who'd been let down by his people. Marlene lost the man she thought she knew. Sandra lost the man she thought she had. And me? I lost a family that, if I'm being completely straight with myself, was never really built with me in mind to begin with. 3 weeks after the video, my phone rings from an area code I don't recognize. Some little town about 2.5 hours outside of Clover Falls. Something makes me pick up anyway. Hi. A woman's voice. Soft and careful, like she's been rehearsing that one word for a while. My name is Marlene. I think you probably already know who I am. I pull out a chair at my kitchen table and sit down. I do. She doesn't cry. She doesn't blow up at me. She just tells me what her life looked like from where she was standing. He told her his wife had walked out on him years back. Said his daughters were hard to deal with, the younger one especially, and that's why he never brought family around. Said he was just a quiet man who'd been quietly let down by everyone he loved. She built 8 full years of her life around that story. 8 years, Claire. 8 years building a life with a man who doesn't even exist. I just listen. I don't cut her off. I don't say anything bad about my dad. He's already done more than enough of that damage himself. I'm really sorry you got lied to like that, I say. You and your boy had absolutely nothing to do with any of this. The long quiet. Then, real soft, neither did you. Before we hang up, she tells me one more thing. It's the part that hit harder than everything else combined. Even in that other life, the secret one, 2.5 hours away in a house I'd never laid eyes on, my dad used me. I was his difficult daughter. The reason he could never introduce people to his family. I was the excuse he gave out in both directions to cover up 2 completely different lies. I was the cover story for 2 separate lives. Call runs 9 minutes total. We don't make any plans. We're not going to be friends. We're just 2 women who got used by the same man to hold up 2 different versions of reality. I hang up. Wash the dishes. Pick Mason up from school. We go get ice cream at the place on Chestnut Street and he gets 3 scoops and acts like it's the best day of his life. Some things just need to be said out loud. That's truly all they need. 1 month after the video, I write 3 messages at my kitchen table while Mason colors a T-Rex right next to me. To Nicole, I don't hate you, but I don't trust you. Don't reach out to me. Don't post about me. Don't put Mason's name or face anywhere online. If anything ever changes down the road, that'll be my decision to make. To Sandra, I loved the version of you I believed you were. But I can't keep a relationship with someone who uses prayer as a weapon and love as a leash. I genuinely hope you sort out the debt. I mean that. To Robert, you've got a son out there who needs a father who shows up and tells the truth. Be that for him. You were never that for me. I don't sit around waiting for replies. I don't get any. Same week, I cut Nicole off the shared photo album. Changed my phone number. Got a new lock put on my apartment door. Sandra had a spare key from when she helped me move in 2 years back. Dated Mason's school pickup list to just me and Jess. Small moves. Practical. The kind of lines you draw that don't make a sound. They just make space. I'm not gonna pretend the whole town threw me a parade. Some people said I should have kept family business inside the family. That's just not how we handle things around here. One woman in the county Facebook group wrote family matters stay private. This was wrong of her. 16 likes. I counted every single one. I'm only human. A handful of coworkers gave me that polite, careful treatment for a while. Not unfriendly, just not wanting to pick a side. I get it. That's small-town life. Sides come with consequences. But there were other moments, too. Diane stopped me one afternoon in the hallway and said, I've managed this office for 20 years and I've written exactly 1 reference letter in all that time. I'm writing yours right now, whether you ask for it or not. She gave my arm one squeeze and walked out. The main office closed the complaint file. Reason on record, no valid basis. 3 words that meant more to me than every single comment on every single video. Jess texted me one night. People will always find it easier to blame the person who told the truth than the people who told the lies. That says everything about them and absolutely nothing about you. I saved that text. I still pull it up when the days get rough. I never needed the whole town in my corner. I just needed the truth to exist somewhere outside of my own head. 3 months later. Fall rolls into Clover Falls, that first week where the air smells like wood smoke and you can feel the seasons actually turning. Mason starts second grade. He picks out a backpack covered in rocket ships because Mason has never once cared what anyone else thinks he should want. I'm genuinely trying to be more like him. We move into a 2-bedroom apartment over on Cedar Avenue, closer to the Hartfield office, lower rent, and Mason finally gets his own room. He sets up his Lego city on the dresser and tells me nobody is allowed to touch it because the pieces are in a very specific order. I respect that completely. Jess comes over every Friday. We try something new to cook every single week. Last Friday was homemade tamales. It took us 3 hours and they were absolutely worth it. Mason ate 4 and then fell asleep on the couch before 8 o'clock. One afternoon at the office, Diane tracks me down in the hallway with this look on her face like she's trying not to smile too big. A client in my office just asked if you're the agent who made that video. Said she specifically wants to work with you because of it. She gives me a look. Thought you'd want to know that. I actually laugh out loud. A full, real, surprised laugh. My video is sitting at just over 1 million views. I never made another one. I didn't spin it into a personal brand. I didn't turn my family's mess into a side hustle. One video. One truth. That was always the whole point, and it was enough. One evening, Mason is at the table drawing while I'm chopping onions for dinner. Mama, is Aunt Nicole coming for Thanksgiving? I set the knife down. I look at my son, open face, just curious, no hidden agenda. No, bud. But Jess is coming and she's bringing that pecan pie you like. Mason thinks about it for exactly 2 seconds. Okay. I like Jess's pie way better anyway. I still drive past my parents' house sometimes. Clover Falls is a small town, it just happens. Last month, a for sale sign showed up in the front yard. I didn't slow down. I'm not sharing all this so you'll go blow up your own family. Every situation is different. Some families actually can work things out. Mine couldn't get there. I've made peace with that, not the warm, cozy kind of peace, but the real kind. Kind where you finally sleep all the way through the night. Here's what I know for real now. Silence isn't just quiet. Silence is something you give. And for years and years, my silence was the thing holding their whole setup in place. My tears at Easter dinner. My smile at every Sunday dinner where I wasn't really wanted. My willingness to sit in that wobbly chair and pretend the food I brought deserved the back corner of the counter. My son's face turned into content without a second thought. All of that was work. Free work. In service of a lie dressed up to look like a family. The second I stopped doing it, everything collapsed. Not because I came in swinging. 'Cause I just walked out. And the whole thing could not hold its shape without me propping it up from the inside. If you're somewhere out there right now in a family where your silence is the only thing keeping their secrets safe, I want you to hear me say this. You don't owe them that silence. Not because they're terrible people. Not because they deserve to have everything fall apart. But because you deserve to actually live in something that's real. Even when the real version is messy and sad and makes the holidays a whole lot smaller than they used to be. My table seats 2 most nights. 3 on Fridays when Jess brings pie. It wobbles a little, if I'm being totally straight with you. I keep meaning to tighten that leg. But every single chair at it belongs to me. There's one last thing I want to say. It's small, but I think about it all the time. A few weeks back, Mason comes home from school with a drawing folded up in his backpack. He made it in art class. He pulls it out at the kitchen table and hands it over to me like he's delivering something really official. It's 2 people standing in front of a house. Big yellow door. Purple trees in the yard. The tall one and the small one, both of them smiling as wide as they can. And underneath, in his best second-grade handwriting, my mama and me. We are happy. I put it up on the fridge, right next to the one he made the night I filmed my video. The same yellow door, the same wild purple trees. He's been drawing that same house since last year. The world the way he understands it to be. And every single day I'm doing my best to build it for real. I used to think being strong meant getting through the dinner, keeping my hands steady while I cut Mason's food and telling myself I could survive one more holiday in that wobbly chair. I thought if I could just hold on long enough, that was what strength looked like. That getting through it and having dignity were the same thing. They are not even close. Dignity is knowing your own worth even when the people who were supposed to show it to you never could. Dignity is pressing publish on a 14-minute video in a school parking lot at 8 in the morning while your hands are shaking and a bird is on the curb and a bus is pulling away and your chest is full of something that isn't exactly bravery but is something just past done. Being completely done. Dignity is slicing that apple after your mother says you blew up the family. Breading the peanut butter. Calling your son to the table like nothing outside this kitchen matters at all. 'Cause honestly, it doesn't. Credit card debt is still there. The DUI is still public record. The for sale sign is still stuck in the front yard. Robert is still in that small rental on the edge of town. Nicole is still trying to piece together a following on content that doesn't have me anywhere near the middle of it anymore. Some parts of this story I'm still working through. Maybe I always will be, at least a little. But Mason eats his after-school snack at this kitchen table every single day. He guards his Lego city like it's the most important thing on earth. He runs into school every morning without once looking back over his shoulder. And every time I watch him go, backpack bouncing, sneakers slapping the sidewalk, I think the same thing. He is never going to have to learn how to make himself small so that someone else can feel big. Not while I'm around. That's the only thing I've ever truly been trying to get right. Thank you for being here. Genuinely, from the bottom of my chest, thank you. If this story hit you somewhere real, if even one corner of it felt like your life, please hit like and subscribe right now. Not because I'm chasing numbers. 'Cause every single person who subscribes is telling me, keep going. Keep talking. We're listening. And that means everything to me. I share stories like this one regularly, real ones, messy ones, the kind people are usually too scared to say out loud. If that's the kind of content that feeds your soul, you belong here. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss one. If you've got a story like this, even just a piece of one, put it in the comments. You don't have to use real names. Sometimes just getting the words out of your chest and into the world is the whole point. And you never know who's going to read it and feel a little less alone because of you. And if you're sitting somewhere right now in your own wobbly chair, acting like the food you brought doesn't deserve the center of the table, I just want you to know. You can stand up. The door is not locked. You were never ever obligated to stay in that chair. I'm Claire, coming to you from Clover Falls, Tennessee. Thank you for making it all the way to the end with me. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see y'all in the next one.